It's officially the most wonderful time of the year, and that means it's time for a very cozy, no spice, Christmas romance TBR. So, this first group of books I'll be sharing can all be found on Kindle Unlimited, and we are starting off with one of my favorite authors, which is Courtney Walsh. So, first we have a cross country romance. This book follows our female main character, Lauren, who finds herself taking a cross country road trip from California to Illinois with her brother's best friend and childhood crush, Will. And a childhood friends to lovers road trip romance sounds right up my alley, and it sounds really perfect for this time of year. So I'm really excited to pick this one up, hopefully soon. Next, we have Merry Xmas, also by Courtney Walsh, and this one follows Marin, who goes home for the holidays only to find her ex in her house. I believe he was invited by her mom. I guess, one of those things where they broke up, but the family didn't break up, if you know what I mean. And so she sees him. She's trying to land, I think, like this big permanent spot on her TV show. She's a TV show host. And somehow the viewers find out about her and this guy that she used to date and see them together, and they love it. And so I think they kind of have to fake date for that in order for her to get this like promotion she wants. And normally I'm not a big like enemies to lovers, that trope fan, but I feel like this would be really fun, and I really like the like TV show host aspect of it. I feel like learning about that career could also be really interesting. And last, by Courtney Walsh, we have Christmas with a Crank, and this one follows our main character Liam, and his family owns a Christmas tree farm, and they hire Olive, who is one of his childhood friends, to kind of help them rekindle the magic on the farm for Christmas. And I don't think he is really into it. And so she agrees to help with that if he will let her like help him get into the spirit of Christmas. And again, they're childhood friends. So childhood friends to lovers, which I've already said I love. And this is her newest release. This one just came out in November this year. So I'm really excited to pick this one up. I've heard really good things so far since it came out. Next, we have two books by Juliana Smith. They are in the same series. They're interconnected. So first we have Baggage Claim. And this one is all about Olive, who is going home to see her family for the holidays, of course. And there's one problem. She told them she has a boyfriend, but of course she doesn't, until she meets this guy named Finn on the plane, and things go from there, let's just say. And then the second book is coming out at the end of this month, so it is called Snowed Under, and it is all about Madeline, who is an aunt who is now taking care of and the guardian for her brother and best friend's child after they passed away. And then there's also Cooper, who is a children's like ski instructor, and I believe both of them need like a fake relationship for the holidays for different reasons. And so naturally, that's what they do. So I've heard such good things about Juliana Smith. I've never actually read any of her books, I don't think yet, but like all of them are on my list. And I've heard really good things about these Christmas books, so I'm really excited to pick these up soon. We also have a couple of books by Gracie Ruth Mitchell. First, we have No Room in the Inn, and this one is all about Willow, and she inherits her grandmother's old inn, and so she ends up going there and finds the town Santa, who's younger and more attractive than she thought he would be, flirting with her. And I feel like this book has all the makings of like the perfect Hallmarky movie read, if that's kind of what you're looking for in a Christmas romance. We also have Five Stolen Rings, which is all about our female main character, Stella, who moves back home to her hometown and is house sitting for the holidays, only to have a thief break into the house, who is none other than her childhood friend, Jack, who I don't think she's spoken to, like he kind of just like ghosted her years ago. And he says there's something in the house that belongs to him. So this book is supposed to be a kind of like a mashup of Home Alone and The 12 Days of Christmas. And I feel like this one's also super interesting because it has like a touch of mystery to me of like, what in the house belongs to him? Why is he breaking into it? So this one is definitely intriguing me. We also have a couple of books by Katie Bailey. These are in a series together, and the first one is Season's Schemings. This one follows our female main character, Maddie, who finds out that her family is spending Christmas with her ex's family and him and his new girlfriend, which does not sound ideal. And so she ends up asking superstar hockey player Sebastian, which I'm actually not sure how she knows him, but she asked him to be her fake boyfriend for the holidays. And he counters and says, why don't we get fake married instead? And that's just interesting to me. Like, I need to know why he counters with that. And I believe this book is also set in like a cozy cabin in the mountains, which I feel like is just so perfect for this time of year. Also, I didn't mention this before, but it's currently snowing where I live as I'm filming this, so that's just really giving me the same vibe as what I feel like this book and like all of these Christmas romances will have. So after Season Schemings, we have Holiday Hostilities, which is her new book that comes out at the end of this month. And this one follows our female main character, Olivia, who is planning to spend the holidays with her not so great roommates until her like ex nemesis, high school enemy, whatever you want to call him, who is now like a famous NHL hockey player, Aaron, offers for her to stay at his place if she will attend this like hockey gala with him. So I get the vibe that maybe there's some lingering feelings from high school or something, because I don't feel like he would just invite her to live with him and invite her to a gala if there wasn't some romantic feelings there. So I love that these also involve hockey, because I feel like that is perfect to kind of take it from Christmas even just into winter if you wanted. And I did want to mention, I believe both of these books by her do have some language in them, just so you know if that's something that you prefer to avoid. Another closed-door romance for the Christmas season is Merry Little Hate Notes by Jennifer Peel. This one follows our female main character, Holly, who works with someone who is not only her coworker, but also her brother's best friend and her first kiss. And normally I think at work she just avoids him, but she gets assigned to assist him with like a project through the end of the year, so she can't avoid him anymore. And somehow they get to playing this game that they used to play, I believe as kids, called the Hate Note game. So I think maybe there's some like letter or note writing involved in this. It's more of like an enemies to lovers, but also has that childhood aspect, workplace kind of romance. And normally I don't love a workplace romance, but I feel like I would really like this as like a Christmassy, also they have the shared history kind of romance. Next we have Mistletoe Face Off by Kate O'Keefe. This one came out in October, so this is a new release for 2024. And it follows our female main character, Holly, who is a single mom. She's a journalist, and she's hired to cover this like charity event that the hockey team does, I guess probably around the holidays. And then Harrison is on the hockey team, and they went to high school together, and he had a crush on her. And now she's covering this charity event, and somehow they get into this thing where people are having them like fake hate each other. So it's not fake dating. It's like people love their like probably more like banter and like how they annoy each other more so than like fake dating. And I think that's just kind of a fun spin on like a fake relationship or something where they're not fake dating. They're like fake fighting all the time, and I'm intrigued to kind of see how that plays out. We also have 12 Days of Mistletoe by Jen Atkinson. This is also a new release for 2024 that came out in November, and this one follows our main character Bonnie, who is just a girl, you know, living in an apartment, trying not to get in trouble for having her emotional support dog live with her. But it's a no pets building. And her downstairs neighbor, I think, knows about it, and so he makes this deal to fake date for her to not get evicted. I guess you could probably see a theme here of fake dating, but I feel like fake dating around the holidays is just such a perfect thing because it's a time when like people feel that pressure to be in a relationship, and so I feel like that's why so many of these books have like a fake dating or something element, because that's just I feel like it just pairs really well with a Christmas romance. Next, we have a couple of books by Courtney Keisel. So first we have The Holiday Stand-In. This one follows our female main character, Summer, who her boyfriend Justin cannot come to, I think, like her family Christmas, but his identical twin brother Caleb will be in town. So they get this idea to swap places, but then I think something happens and she starts falling for her boyfriend's twin brother. Not ideal. And this one just sounds really interesting to me. I feel like a storyline like this, you have to be very careful with and write it a certain way for it to, I don't know, just it seems like a hard storyline to write, and I'm really intrigued to see how she goes about this. And then we also have one Foggy Christmas. This one is all about Nash and Sadie, and basically there's a ski accident and it leaves Sadie with like no knowledge of who Nash is or their marriage. She only remembers her ex and a previous relationship and where she used to live and all of that, and like has no memory of him or their life together. And I think basically it's Nash, the husband, like fighting for their love and fighting for her even though she doesn't remember him. But I always love a good romance where like they're already together but something kind of causes a rift and they have to come back together. I really love that in a romance, and so I'm excited to read this one, hopefully soon. I'm realizing that I've said there's a lot of books that I want to read, hopefully soon, so stay tuned for probably a holiday reading vlog because I have a lot on my list that I want to get to. We also have Stay This Christmas by Jenny Carrick, this book is related to her Magnolia Ridge series, but you can read it as a standalone as well. And it follows our main character, Harper, who I think is just feeling like her life isn't super exciting. So she makes this list of exciting things to do. And then also her ex, Sam, who's been traveling and probably she thinks doing way more exciting things than she is back in town, and he offers to help her and like do her list with her. And she says, I'll allow it if I can help you get into like the holiday spirit. And I love a good Christmas book where they're doing like a bucket list or a checklist and like doing all these fun activities. I feel like it really packs a lot of the like Christmas season into a book. So I feel like this would be a really fun one. A little bit more of a mysterious Christmas romance is The Christmas Letters by Ginny Hale. This one follows our female main character, Elizabeth, who leaves New York City for the Great Smoky Mountains after her boyfriend breaks up with her. And there she meets Paul. And I think things are going well until she receives this stack of letters from her grandmother that like changes everything. And I've read a couple, I think, of Ginny Hale's books, and something that I really like about her romance is that a lot of times they include some element like this of mystery or of letter writing or of something from the past that they find out about, like affecting their life today. Like I feel like she just does a really good job adding some deeper things happening in the romance that like add to the romance. And so I feel like this would be a really good one if you're looking for, again, more of a like emotional depth kind of romance. So next we have a couple of books by Kate Watson. First we have Since We've No Place to Go. And this one is a baseball enemies to lovers romance. It follows Cooper, who is the baseball player, and Lysol, who is like an analyst for the team. And I believe they get caught in a blizzard together, which just sounds really fun. And I love a good baseball romance. I don't know why, because I don't even really like baseball that much, but I love a baseball romance. I also love the name Lysol, like Sound of Music. I feel like nobody ever uses that name, but I feel like it's really pretty. Anyways, this book is also related to Kate Watson's other book, which is called Single All the Way. And this book is a little bit shorter. I believe it's less than 200 pages, and it follows Juliet and Nate, who get stuck in an elevator together during a blackout. So I guess similar to the previous one, like they get caught in a blizzard. This one, they get stuck in an elevator. And I believe he is a secret billionaire, which you gotta love. Another little bit shorter Christmas romance that you can also find on Kindle Unlimited is The Christmas Letters by Jenny Proctor. And this one follows our female main character, Tess, who basically gets herself stuck in like a bathroom stall, I think. And then the paramedic that comes to rescue her, his name's Andrew. She likes him, I think, after kind of their encounter. but he has this mysterious pen pal that I think makes him like not interested. So I feel like a little bit this is maybe giving like You've Got Mail vibes at Christmas. I'm not sure, but I feel like this would be a really fun, just like quick, easy read on a snowy winter day. And the last shorter one I have on my list is The Holiduel by Hailey Gardiner. This one is a novella that's related to her Falling for Franklin series, but you can read it on its own as well. And it follows Finn and Ava, who are pastry chefs and rivals. They end up, I think, working in the same kitchen for the holidays. And I believe this also has a second chance element as well. And I just love when a Christmas book involves baking. I feel like it just makes it extra cozy around the holidays. Next, I wanted to share a couple of Christmas series that you can read on Kindle Unlimited. So I'm not going to talk about all of these books individually because this video would be 5 hours long. But I wanted to mention these series in case you're looking for some more Christmas romances or just something to like binge all the way through during the Christmas season. So first we have the Christmas Escape series. This is 7 books by 7 different authors, and these books have a ton of variety. They're set in England, France, an island, there's a spy one. Like, I feel like there's something for everyone in this series. We also have the Gift Wrapped Romance series, and this one is 5 books by 5 different authors, and I believe you can read these in any order, however you want. And again, I feel like with a series like this, there's just something for everyone because there's so much variety in tropes and settings and all of those things. So I feel like you're just bound to find something that you enjoy. This next series I feel like is so fun. This is the Christmas Kisses and Cookie Crumb series. Try to say that 10 times fast. But this one is 12 different short stories by 12 different authors, and they're released every 2 days starting November 29th through December 21st. So this would be so fun. Like every 2 days you would get a new like short novella story to read that's Christmassy, and I feel like that's just such a fun idea. And I also feel like some of the tropes and like things in these books are really interesting. There's one that I think is set in like the 1970s. There's a later in life romance. There's a cowboy one. Of course, there's Small Town and Grumpy Sunshine and all the tropes we love, but I feel like there's also some more unique ones in here. We also have a Mountain Springs Christmas by Meg Easton. So these are 3 books by the same author, and I believe she has them like where you can get them separately or together in like one book. And it's the Christmas Claus, the Christmas Bet, and the Christmas Pact. So those are her 3 books in this series. And last for series, we have Christmas in Connecticut. And this is 3 books by the same author. It's Holly versus Mr. Ivy, The Night Before Christmas, and the Jack Frost Bake Off, I believe. And I think these are all like baking chef related, which again, as I said before, like I feel like the baking aspect of a book is so perfect for the holidays. And you've made it to the final grouping of this video, which is books that are still no spice, closed door, but these are not on Kindle Unlimited. So first we have The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox, and this is actually a book that I read last Christmas, but I wanted to include it on my Christmas TBR because I feel like it should still be on yours. This is the perfect like Christmas Hallmarky movie in a book. So in this book, we have Charlie, who is a big famous celebrity chef in LA, and she has her own like show that she works on. And then you also have her twin sister Cass, who lives in a smaller like mountain town where they grew up and runs her family's bakery. And basically Charlie in the city accidentally, like she gets hit in the head, she loses her sense of taste and smell, which is obviously really important for her job. And so her and Cass decide to do the old twin switcheroo, and they switch places for the holidays. And so there's actually 2 romance storylines you're following with both twins. And I love in this book that you also get like the city and the small town. You get the baking, of course, because both of their jobs are related to baking. And this book, I think on the back, the blurb describes it as like Cake Wars meets Parent Trap meets Gilmore Girls. And I feel like that's perfect for this book, and it was just such a cozy, fun read, and I highly, highly recommend that you put this one on your TBR. We also have Just Like Magic by Sarah Hogle. So in this one, we have our female main character, Betty, who I believe like accidentally conjures up this magical Christmas spirit, and he's in the form of a man named Hall. And I guess, they go on some kind of Christmas adventures and spend the holidays together, but I think his time is like ticking. And I love magical realism in any romance, but especially in a Christmas romance. I feel like it's perfect because the Christmas season is already so magical. So to splash in some more magic just seems appropriate to me. Next, we have one of my favorite Christmas books of all time and also favorite Hallmark movies of all time. This book has been turned into like a 2-part Hallmark movie, so if you have to watch it, actually. It's so good. But that book is The Bridge by Karen Kingsbury, and this book is so perfect. It follows Molly and Ryan, who they were college students at Belmont in Nashville, but then this is like years later that you're following them. And then Donna and Charlie, who run this bookstore in Franklin, Tennessee. I feel like this would be especially, you have to read this if you live in Nashville or live in Franklin, or if you're traveling there this holiday season. But Donna and Charlie own a bookstore, and then that's how like Molly and Ryan met. It's just the perfect romance book and the perfect like bookish Christmas romance. And on the back it says, "The Bridge is a love story set against the struggle of the American bookstore, a love story you will never forget." I love this book and the movies, so I highly recommend that you check both of them out. We also have Together With You by Leah Dobrinska, and this one follows our female main character Lainey, who is home helping her family with their Christmas tree farm, and Ford offers to help her, which I think she's needing some help, if she will participate in like all of these holiday festivities with him. And I believe this book is part of a series she has, like her Mapleton Falls series, but again, you can read it on its own as well. We also have 2 books by Ginny Baird. So first we have The Holiday Mix-Up, and this one follows Katie, who agrees to be Juan's fake girlfriend for the holidays, and then shortly after he tells his family about her, he gets in this accident that lands him in a coma, of course. And so then she's there and she doesn't have the heart. Like, she's like, I can't tell his family. And then she meets his brother Mateo, who is like, hey, he's trying to like mess up our family business. Like, can you help? What's going on? And so then it's kind of like which brother is she going to help? Which one's she going to be loyal to? So similar to the book earlier, The Holiday Stand-In, I think it was, I feel like this is a storyline you have to be kind of careful with and just write a certain way. And so I am intrigued to see kind of how this would play out. And then also by her, we have Christmas Eve Love Story, which came out in October of this year, so a new release. And this one follows our female main character, Annie, who is a window decorator in New York City, which, what a dream job. That would be so fun. And she's decorating the display, and I think it gets messed up. It's Christmas Eve. And the security guard, Braden, like helps her fix it. And then she goes to sleep, wakes up, it's Christmas Eve again. So it's like a repeating day kind of situation. It says it's for fans of Miracle on 34th. Is it 34th? 32nd Street? 34th Street. And Groundhog Day, obviously, I guess because of like the repeating day. And of course, this is magical realism. This sounds like a dream book for me. I'm really excited to read this one because magical realism, New York City, like what could be better for the Christmas season? Next, we have Mistletoe Season by Kathleen Fuller, Pepper Basham, and Sheila Roberts. And this is a collection of 3 little Christmas novellas. And I believe these are, one of them's Old Flames, one of them is Opposites Attract, and one of them is a royal romance. And the last book on this TBR is The Merry Matchmaker by Sheila Roberts. This book is said to be inspired by Jane Austen's Emma, and our female main character in this book is a matchmaker. She's always trying to find people their perfect match, and so she gets her mind set on finding the perfect match for this guy named Mitch, who she's been friends with forever, and just she thinks he's perfect. She needs to find him a match, and you can probably guess where it goes from there. Okay, and that is the end of my ultimate no spice, closed door, Christmas romance TBR. I would love it if you guys would comment down below what holiday book you are excited to read this season, and also like, subscribe, stick around for lots more Christmas videos to come. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Take care, friends.